name is Michael James, and this is WWN Do or Die Showcase. California Showcase is straight to action. The following 6-minute scramble match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Clearwater, Florida, weighing in at 185 pounds, he is the Supreme Clayton Cross. Next from Swansea, South Carolina, weighing in at 210 pounds, he is the biggest flex, from Anaheim, California, weighing in at 225 pounds, PJ. He's from Raleigh, North Carolina, weighing in at 205 pounds. He is the infamous Mike Robb. From Monterrey, New Mexico, weighing in at 245 pounds, Jeff Yeager. And from Kingston Falls, New York, weighing in at 167 pounds, he is the all-in-one Andrew Grandbo.
So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ambassador of the World Wrestling Network, Trevin Adams, joined tonight by my broadcast partners, Walker Stewart, as well as Kirby Carry-On, and we are getting live here, WWN Do or Die Showcase, coming to you from the WWN Training Center. Big night here tonight, guys.
Absolutely, Trevin, you're right about that one indeed. I'm happy to be here tonight for the Do or Die Showcase. And Kirby, I know we're going to be seeing some fantastic professional wrestling action all night long, starting off with this 6-man scramble match.
You want to talk about a showcase? What a way to get started than with a 6-man scramble where literally anything goes, but it is only one man to get the ball for the finish.
Yeah, and don't forget, you said it, Kirby, it's going to be hectic, it's going to be chaotic, and you're seeing right now Yeager going for the pin, but broken up by Grandado before our official, junior official, Jordan Pavello, we even had a chance to try to count a pin.
Andrew Grandado is the one right now going for the pinfall here. He is the one that follows the rules, but right now it looks like his back was taken.
Yeah, but Mike Robb pulled together into the pin. No, Clayton Cross not able to get the victory. Guys, I think we're going to be spending more time just trying to catch our breaths to understand what's happening, given the action we're seeing here quickly in the ring.
Seeing a lot of impressive maneuvers right now out of this competitor.
Yeah, Clayton Cross with a beautiful standing moonsault there. Going after D'Angelo. D'Angelo, oh, beautiful sling blade, trained by Ethan Case. Shout out to Ethan Case. Get well soon, buddy.
And D'Angelo only has 4 months of professional competition experience. You gotta wonder how that's gonna factor into a matchup like this.
Well, it's absolute chaos. As you can see, PJ, another youngster coming to us from down, trained by Soulman Alex G in Miami. So I get the feeling, gentlemen, this is going to really set the tone for the night. Do or Die Showcase is about standing out.
Oh! Beautiful Falcon arrow right there by PJ. You can see that that training is definitely paying off right now. So he's just showing off, pandering to the crowd instead of trying to go for a pinfall. That is where the experience needs to come in.
Of course, Mike Robb now slugging it out with D'Angelo in the center of the ring. You gotta have eyes in the back of your head in a kind of situation, one of these 6-man scrambles. You can already see Jeff Yeager now, I think, is starting to lurk.
Oh my God.
Jeff Yeager, that 17 years of in-ring competitive experience coming to play here tonight. But can Jeff Yeager follow the rules?
Well, and that's it. Grandado Exploder suplex tossed by Jeff Yeager, and I don't think the rules cover that.
And most definitely not, but I don't think D'Angelo knows a thing or two about the rules. Jeff Yeager, he might be the one to show him a thing or two.
And Yeager's one of those guys, man. Learned a lot about Yeager today. This whole day, this whole Do or Die Showcase is about talent getting better in real time. And D'Angelo, very impressive so far here, guys.
Oh my God, beautiful senton right there. And it doesn't even matter whether you have 17 years of experience, everything can end in just 1 second.
Yeah, just like that, Grandado nearly pinning D'Angelo. Not enough to keep down D'Angelo.
Well, what we're seeing right now out of D'Angelo. Look at the impact, the cover. 2, 3, and that's it. Gentlemen, I'll tell you right now, man, we said this was going to be a chaotic
quick way to get things started here. WWN Do or Die Showcase. D'Angelo found the way to win.
He most definitely did. We talked about that 4 months of experience that he had. It is a young man's game, Trevin Adams, and D'Angelo proves that once again here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
Uh-oh, guys, it's time for some exclusive content here. You'll know what I mean in just a moment. Kirby, am I looking at you on the OnlyCam site right now?
Absolutely. I'm a subscriber. I've been subscribed for months. I believe in Cameron Stewart. And actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be watching this match on my phone.
Well, I don't know if I'm too completely sold on what all comes with the package of OnlyCams, but he has something to prove here tonight, just as everyone else on this event, the Do or Die Showcase.
He is from Kansas City, Florida, weighing in at 145 pounds. He is the Giant Slayer,
Ariel Dominguez, a Brute National Champion when he was in his senior year, Florida State Champion. This is a guy, you see the ring right there, representing amateur professional wrestling. But what we've seen from a growth perspective with Ariel Dominguez, especially in recent history, since he began training at the Dungeon with TJ Wilson, Natalia Neidhart, this is a guy who calls himself 1 in a trillion. Gentlemen, I think you're going to find out tonight why Ariel Dominguez is 1 in a trillion. Of course, senior official Jeff Bundy calling things here right down the middle. You can see the, oh, hold on.
I have a heart. You should join the OnlyCams. Yes,
He's got a great point here, gentlemen. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put my phone down. The camera is actually turned the other way, so this match will not be streamed on OnlyCams. But he's right. The heart's right there. This could be a great tag team for the future.
Of course, taking advantage of the distraction. Dominguez, that's what you get, though, when you get distracted by somebody like a Cameron Stewart.
I wouldn't expect anything less from a man with the last name of Stewart. Cameron Stewart knows exactly what he's doing inside that ring, but he has to be able to combat the competitive nature of Ariel Dominguez.
Yeah, wait a minute, Walker, you just kind of gave me an idea there. Is there a relation with you and Cam?
I don't believe I'm at the liberty. Only a 2 count there. I don't believe I'm at the liberty to comment on that here, Trevin.
You see the gator roll from Ariel Dominguez, what I talked about with that mat wrestling. And I think, oh, here we go again, attempted a pin. And I think what you're going to find is if, oh, look at Dominguez with the showboating. If Cam lets his guard down, this match could be over like that.
One thing about Ariel Dominguez is that he is I don't want to say ever confident in the squared circle, much like that of Cameron Stewart. These men share more similarities than they really want to admit with one another.
Beautiful Savate kick followed up by another, this time higher. And you bring up an interesting point here, Walker, about the juxtaposition between these two athletes, but that drop kick right there catching Cameron Stewart right in the gut.
You've got to imagine that these two are at a super high level here for being talent that is unsigned, because both of them have actually made appearances for both AEW and NXT, but they come from different sides. One being trained at Flatbacks in Cameron Stewart, the other one in the Dungeon by Ariel Dominguez.
Yeah, and you're going to Flatbacks. Ooh, Ariel had his head taken off. And I actually was about to say, I thought Cameron Stewart was going to follow up with a pin. You got to think Tyler Breeze, Sean Spears, the trainers at Flatbacks. What would they think right now watching Cameron Stewart?
Well, that's a fantastic question. Trevin going for the cover now, and only a 2 count. But just as you said, Trevin, what would they think about the lack of aggression on a pin attempt? I'm not too certain if they'd be pleased right now with Cameron Stewart.
Yeah, I think the showboatmanship There's a time and a place for that, and I think Cameron Stewart might find out the hard way. This is not the time, and in fact, you see the roll-up by Dominguez. Not enough to keep down Cam, but you notice Dominguez did not try to hold the tights or anything. Guy that follows the rules. Pin. Hey, frustration from Cam again into the pin. And a third time, guys.
And you see the frustration continue to build in the demeanor of Cameron Stewart. He cannot afford to let his guard down right now, Trevin.
Ariel Dominguez is normally known as the Giant Slayer, so you've got to imagine that his game plan has changed a little bit. He's used to being in there with guys that are tremendous in size. Cameron Stewart, not quite the size, but it's still a very formidable opponent here tonight.
You see Dominguez getting up with ease into the Michinoku. Is this enough? Wow, Cam's still in it, guys.
I'm loving the fire that I'm seeing out of Ariel Dominguez right now, and it takes, we talked about confidence earlier on, it takes a lot of confidence to call yourself a Giant Slayer, to believe that you have what it takes. Kirby, I gotta be honest with you, I don't think that I have the ability to slay Giants. I don't think anyone at this broadcast table does, but Ariel Dominguez knows he has the ability to take down Giants, just like he can take down Cameron Stewart tonight.
Yeah, Dominguez was looking for that step-up DDT, did not connect, instead caught, and now a beautiful suplex by Cam, and Cam's not letting go.
Going for a second vertical suplex illusion here, gentlemen. And if he goes for a third, he's paying homage to one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. Will he connect?
Well, he might be taking a little bit too much time here, though, Kirby.
You just heard he's going to take things to the next level is Cam Stewart, placing Dominguez on the top. Nothing good happens on the top rope, gentlemen.
Most definitely the high-rent district, high risk, high reward. Will the reward reap the benefits here tonight for Cameron Stewart?
I think it's a pivotal moment here for Dominguez to fight back. Headbutt. And another rocking Cam. But what does Dominguez have left, guys?
That's a fantastic question. We're going to have to find out right now. The heart of a warrior is Ariel Dominguez from the top.
And unfortunately, Cameron Stewart not only got out of the way, but you see quickly coming after Dominguez. Oh, there's your third suplex there, Kirby, into the pin. No, Dominguez still in it.
Very close call right there, but that frustration starting to build in Cameron Stewart. He's got to maintain his cool. He cannot lose it because that could be the mistake that cost him this matchup.
Well, you wanted some exclusive content, gentlemen. Here's the camera.
Well, you have to know that Ariel Dominguez has to be looking out for that exclusive content driver, patented and trademarked.
And the low blow official did not see it. Distracted pin. Not like this.
Here is the winner, Emery Stewart.
Using the camera, getting the official's attention. Official gets the camera out of the ring, and you saw what happened, gentlemen.
Well, I may not have a lot of respect for the way Cameron Stewart managed to get the job done, but at the end of the day, a win is a win.
He was just giving his subscribers the up-close look. It was personal. It was great. That is the content that we paid for, gentlemen.
The following women's contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. She hails from Atlanta, Georgia. She is the queen of the South,
This Kai Dream makes her way here to the ring at the WWN TC. Young lady, man, she's made the towns. She's been to WXW in Germany, on the way to Japan soon. Heck, she's been out your way, Kirby, Reality of Wrestling.
100%. Formerly a part of Culture Inc., Kaya Dream is definitely one to watch, and they call her the Queen of the South for a reason.
And her opponent.
down, you heard the reaction from the WWN faithful. I think there was an instant connection there, gentlemen.
Well, most definitely. And how could you not have a connection with the great warrior wolf? There's a lot of fire, a lot of spirit, and a lot of heart. This woman brings the energy to the ring. And does Kaya Dream have what it takes to overcome said energy, folks?
It's not an accident that she's known as the Queen of the South, but this could be a completely different challenge from what we've seen Kaya Dream face before, as we see that giant slap right there to the Great Warrior Wolf to get this started.
And the Fez press right there. So we're going to talk about the size differential, gentlemen. I do not blame Nakama for taking advantage of that size differential, and Kaya's attitude, I think, might be her biggest weapon.
Well, you're not going to be able to outpower Nakamatala whatsoever. Kaya, if she wants any opportunity of walking away with a victory here tonight, she's going to have to find a way to outpower, to outstrength, and maybe to outsmart Nakamatala.
And our official, Nikki Emery, doing her best to keep control here, but I get the feeling this is going to be fast and furious between these ladies with a cannonball.
Impactful execution on that one. Now going for the cover.
And that 2 count only here. But hey, credit to Kaya Dream. Honestly, I really underestimated Kaya coming out of things. I thought that Luthez press was already the beginning of the end, and instead, right now, it's all Kaya Dream.
Well, and I understand how you could feel that way, Trevin. You look at the dominant woman standing across the ring from her in Nakamatala. She is incredibly forceful with every single competitor. I actually spoke to her a little bit in the back, and she told me she's actually not used to wrestling women. She was trained by men. She's wrestled men continuously throughout her career. She's a very powerful competitor.
Yeah, she's been at terror throughout the northeast of the United States. And of course, as you heard in her announcement by Michael James representing the Amanaki Nation. Oh, collision there. I don't think Kaya quite got as much of Nakama as she wanted, but now into the pin.
And Nakama has been a champion for over 900 days, gentlemen. She's still currently in that reign, in her second reign as women's champion over in the Northeast. So Kaya Dream is going to be the one that has to figure out the puzzle to somehow defeat this champion.
In fact, Kirby, she was the first ever indigenous woman to hold that championship that you're referring to. She is incredible inside this ring. Does Kaya have what it takes to overcome?
Yeah, and the headbutts again from Nakama. You got to think Kaya's being rocked right now. And that splash!
I would not want to be on the other side of that one, Trevin.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how well you're trained by guys like Devon Dudley, how many years of experience you have. You get hit by a freight train, gentlemen, that's the beginning of the end.
And I think she's signaling for that ending right now.
A hellacious crossbody there, right on the bottom turnbuckle. Ribs could be broken. I think Kaya's out here. Pin. No!
Somehow Kaya manages to find the strength and the wherewithal to kick out here.
And not only kick out, but Kaya's now doing a very smart thing, cut off the oxygen of the bigger woman. And Nakama had the answer.
You've got to cut them down to size. That's exactly what Kaya had in mind. But Nakoma has been in this kind of situation before, and I believe that this could be coming to a close sooner rather than later, gentlemen.
And as the whip there, Kaya tries to duck. Second time gets caught. And Nakoma.
Look at the strength here of Nakama. And the slam.
Pin. The end.
Driven directly into the mat by force, by the power of Nakamatala. Gentlemen, I think this is not going to be the last time that we see this woman here in WWN.
No, I agree. I think both ladies very impressive. Match that was an absolute sprint. Would love to see it under different conditions, but tonight was all about the Great Warrior Wolf.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a triple threat match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. He is from the city of champions, weighing in at 185 pounds. He
Leon is about to find himself in an interesting situation here. A triple threat match. We'll talk about the rules in a moment, guys, but a totally different flavor of a matchup than a normal singles.
Absolutely. You got to have eyes in the back of your head if you're going to compete.
He is from your darkest fantasies, weighing in at 225 pounds. He's the champion one, Tommy.
You cannot deny the reaction of the women here from the WWN faithful for Tommy Okami.
You know, I walked into the building with my girl under my arm, and you know what happened? She's now gone because of this man.
And their opponent. He is from Grandview, Missouri, weighing at 170 pounds. He is the realest, Eldridge.
As our third competitor gets to the ring, one of the unique things about a triple threat match, for all intents and purposes, a DQ situation is kind of a complex problem for our senior official, by the way, Chuck Oren here. What do you do? There's not going to be countouts. What do you do if somebody brings in a weapon? Things can get kind of crazy. Not expecting that tonight, but, you know, you got to keep it in the back of your head as Okami gets attacked immediately.
A rather interesting duo here of Leon and Eldridge teaming up to get this started. Maybe they saw Okami as a threat here, or maybe they saw Okami steal their girls before this matchup.
I wouldn't be surprised if either of those factors here, Kirby. Tommy Okami is starting off hot and heavy here tonight.
The muscle on display, beautiful spot, and a slam just dumping Leon right there into Eldridge. In. Oh, but a quick kick out there, guys.
We're talking about this being a showcase event here tonight. It is a do-or-die situation for truly everyone on this event, on this card, and in this roster. Tommy Okami and Calvin Eldridge, all three of these men, they're looking to prove something here tonight.
Beautiful leaping forearm, and Eldridge now showing just agility on display here, guys.
Well, not only is Calvin Eldridge the realist, but he also is a realist.
He doesn't deal in fiction, he only deals in reality. And right now, Calvin Eldridge is doing a fantastic job, as cocky as he is.
Yeah, very nonchalant pin. The official hadn't even gotten down yet when Okami kicked out, but to the point you guys made, Leon now coming with the attack, and no eyes in the back of the head, no clue it's coming.
Not whatsoever. Tommy Okami trying to capitalize off of this situation. He finds himself in Leon.
Leon may have gotten a little bit gun heavy here after hitting that premier-worthy forearm, but now he turns his attention to Okami.
Springboard, but caught by Okami. Very, very impressive from this young man.
The strength display is incredible from Tommy Okami. And it looks like Luis Leon is going for a ride.
Yeah, well in a Cobra clutch to boot here. But Leon tried to escape, gets caught by the Uranagi. And it's been all Okami here, guys.
It's only a matter of time when reality makes its way.
Well, that reality, about 6 years in the sport, trained by Mike Seidel and a host of folks, regular up in KCXW, trying to fight off the young Okami, who's only about a year in the sport. Curious whether or not the experience factor is going to matter here, given the chaos of a triple threat.
Potentially so here, Trevin.
And right now, Eldridge has an opportunity, all the while Leon is down. And guys, that might be enough.
Planting him with it. That's it. A reality check. A reality check requested and a reality check delivered here tonight by Calvin Eldridge. What an impressive showing from this young man.
I think all three men had the opportunity to show out here at the Do or Die Showcase, and they did, and you saw it. It was balls to the wall the entire time. Eldridge just happened to be the one to know how to survive the car crash.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. There's no nobility in poverty. I've been a rich man and I've been a poor man. He hails from Palm Beach, Florida, weighing in at 190 pounds. He is a Gucci man, Versace prince, the Don of Louis Vuitton. He is a trust fund kid, Blake Banks.
Gentlemen, I am very, very familiar with Blake Banks, and I think every time I see him, he has yet another piece of pomp and circumstance added to that entrance.
Well, and that's exactly what you'd expect out of a man who considers himself to be the trust fund kid. But will that money, will all of the glory, will all of the fame, will it all pay off tonight in this singles competition?
And his opponent. He is from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 200 pounds. He is a rocket, Josiah John.
All right, Kirby, we know you got the scoop on Josiah. Please tell.
Josiah John, he got the nickname Rocket from the one and only two-time Hall of Famer Booker T because he sees something in this kid. He is the hottest prospect in all of Houston, Texas, and he brings all of that right now to Port Richey, Florida here in the WWN TC.
And Kirby, I've heard a lot actually about the Rocket Josiah John, even all the way up in Oklahoma City in my neck of the woods. People are raving about the Rocket.
That's one of the reasons that Josiah made the trip here. We're coming to you from Port Richey, Florida at the WWN Training Center. This is Do or Die, guys. The WWN Do or Die Showcase. These gentlemen have been part of a training seminar throughout the day. Now it's time to stand out. Who's it going to be?
Well, if you're asking Josiah John, it's most definitely going to be him. But I'm sure Blake Banks would say the exact same thing if he was asked as well.
Wow. Did you see the elevation on the kick from Josiah? Not only does he have the longer limbs, not only is he taller than Blake, I dare say Josiah's faster.
We're seeing it all on display right here as he was trying to go for that bookend styled after Booker T, but Blake Banks going after that arm. And look at that. Once he finds a target, he goes right after it.
And yeah, you notice now going for the cover. Shoulders weren't even down all the way, and Blake Banks seems to be a little upset about that.
Well, to that point, if you target that arm, you're not going to get a bookend. It's not going to be possible to hold your opponent. You can tell perhaps Blake Banks learned just enough about Josiah John today to have the time to get cocky like this. Make it rain.
Well, I think he was born with it, if we're being perfectly honest. This man, his gear is made out of Gucci material. You know that if we were to sell that, we could probably solve world hunger?
Well, what are we doing up here? And of course, you can hear the reaction to the WWN faithful to Blake Banks, no stranger to this geography pin. Official Jeff Flores calling things right down the middle. And if there's a weakness to Blake Banks, it's the fact that he will showboat, that he will get cocky. That could be Josiah's opening tonight, guys.
Well, if there's a weakness which Josiah John has been showcasing this entire night, truly, it is showcasing the wound, if you will. He is, wait a minute, power. Taking down Blake Banks, excuse me.
Yeah, that counter, Josiah was able to stop Blake and right in the gut, followed again by a savate kick. And just Josiah's making it look easy with the scissor kick as well. Is this the end? No. But are the lights on for Blake Banks?
Well, I'd have to say I'm not too certain about that right now, Trevin. Josiah John, he's looking to put an exclamation mark on this matchup.
And you notice the shortcut by Blake Banks, raking the eye, the disaster kick connects. Come on, not like this. Yes, Josiah kicks out.
It's incredible, truly, the heart that Josiah John possesses.
And I know I'm supposed to be impartial, guys, but I deal with Blake Banks on a weekly basis. I would love to see Blake have to eat his cockiness, tried the disaster kick again, again does connect it.
But it looks like he might have hurt his arm again.
No. Oh, wait, into the crucifix. Was that
Here is your winner, Blake Banks.
The counter, man. I think that's the experience differential there. Blake saw the opportunity. In the case of Josiah, he thought it was the end. Blake said, man, Hail Mary. Hail Mary came through.
Josiah had no clue that that was coming, and it was in Blake Banks' back pocket the entire time. What a victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following six-man tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. They weigh in at a combined weight of 600 pounds. The team smiles for miles. Severe to real. Dirty Kevin Diaz and El Sueño Inesta.
Well, you want to talk about a trio that know how to not endear themselves to the WWN faithful. On site, pretty impressive here by how disliked these three are.
You're correct about that one, Trevin. A group who has not adorned themselves to the Port Richey, Florida audience just yet. Maybe they can do so with a victory here tonight.
And their opponents.
I think in just about a moment you're about to see a group from Miami that are sure as heck fan favorites here at the WWNTC.
They weigh in at a combined weight of 580 pounds. The team of Chris Malachi, the Black Puma, Puma Johnson, and they run full radiant heat. They are the Miami Boyz.
I gotta be honest with you, Trevin. This is truly an electric group of individuals. The Miami Boyz are here live in Port Richey, Florida.
And I've had the opportunity personally to watch the growth of these three as part of WWN Proving Ground. Can't help but mention WWN Proving Ground available as part of your Club WWN subscription at WWNlive.com. All that said, I do not envy Chuck Oron having to try to work and control these six men.
This is going to be the first tag match that we see here tonight, and it's from one very experienced team in the Miami Boyz against what, let's call a ragtag group of individuals on the other side. But we've seen before, it doesn't matter whether you have experience, it comes down to whether you can pin your person down for 3 seconds to get the win.
Chris Malachite beginning things for the Miami Boyz, Devin Diaz for his team. You can of course see the size differential here. Devin, the bigger man. You won't be surprised when I tell you that Chris Malachite's going to be the faster man.
That doesn't shock me whatsoever, but is he the dirtiest man in this matchup here, Trevin? I would argue not.
I think Devin Diaz for sure has that one covered down. You can see the feeling out process here. Definitely an exciting atmosphere. Appreciate you joining us here for the WWN Do or Die Showcase. Is Malachite trying to take control of Devin Diaz. But that shoulder tackle says no.
That was a one dirty shoulder tackle if I've ever seen it.
And in the case of Devin Diaz, only about a year in the sport, guys, so got to watch out for those mistakes, whereas, as you said, the Miami Boyz range, some of them is Lil Jay as well, but it's like these guys are brothers from different mothers.
You're correct about that one here, but Chris Malachite is trying to put the fight to dirty Devin Diaz.
Malachite just need to start using that speed to try and get back into this. Maybe go for attack to see if somebody else has found out the answer to dirty Devin Diaz.
Well, and here we go. Oh, flying head scissors. And there's the speed you were just asking for, Kirby. And you can see both sides here, kind of a bit of a stalemate. I think Devin Diaz may be looking to change things up. Here's El Sueño. And the drop toe hold. What can you guys tell me about El Sueño?
Iniestra actually flew in from Chicago to be here at this showcase, and he has appeared on AEW Dark and AAA, so he has a lot of lucha credentials, and I haven't seen him for 2 years actually after his stop at the Reality of Wrestling. I'm excited to see what else he has in the bag for today.
And of course, Baby Keith now in there for the Miami boy. With those long limbs, Keith knows how to use those as a weapon into the pin, and a quick kick out. Keith also makes his own music. You want to hear some interesting beats, this young man. Not gonna lie, a lot of it goes over my head, but everybody else seems to be jamming along.
I'm actually a large fan of Baby Keith's music here, Trevin.
And now Puma Johnson in for the Miami boys. Puma has a hell of a background growing up on the gritty streets of the Bahamas, but you're seeing unity here, gentlemen. Pin. And that unity might be the difference maker in this matchup.
Puma Johnson is fueled by the spirit of the Black Puma, and of course, that has paid off very well for him in the past in WWN.
Oh, but great unity this time by Puma's opponents, helping pull Sueño over while Puma's distracted. Sueño just taking out Puma. And I think the complexion has changed, gentlemen.
It most definitely has, and if there's one thing that these three men have competently done thus far in the competition, it is trying to cut off the ring in half, but could Puma Johnson put an end to that? Right now it says no.
And Ariel tagged in for his team, and you see a certain viciousness. There's a mean streak in this young man trained by AR Fox at a WWE 4. And when I first met Ariel, that whole Smiles for Miles thing, super nice young man. Night and day right now. What you're seeing here is really somebody who's got the killer instinct. As Sueño is tagged back in.
Now Black Puma considers the ring. He considers the ring to be his jungle, but I think what we're seeing right now from the other group is just what we would call a deforestation in here.
You notice the oxygen's being cut off for Puma, and even as the WWN faithful try to get behind Puma, a lot of work for Puma to get back up. However, he's doing the work.
And he's found himself back to a vertical base, but being cut off by El Sueño.
It's just so neat here to see the diversity in the locations and the training and how these athletes came together in this six-man. It's part of the uniqueness of what we get here at the WWN Do or Die Showcase. And as you often hear, in this case it will be may the better team win as Puma tries to escape.
Puma Johnson completely believes that the Miami boys are the superior team here, but he has to find his way back to his own corner here, Trevin.
Yeah, it's a pivotal moment in the matchup for both teams. It's got to feel so far just to make it to the corner. Can either man pull it off? Diaz tagged in, but so is Baby Keith.
Oh! Almost like he was shot out of a cannon. Baby Keith is using those long legs to his advantage, and here he comes.
And the leg lariat, incredibly impressive. Now it's like a mosh pit in there.
Yeah, Baby Keith knows exactly how to use his body as a weapon.
That crossbody, the pin. Broken up, though, by Ariel. And now CZ. Beautiful, the scissor kick, but now eating the boot from Malachite. Step up Enziguri as well. Guys, action everywhere.
Yeah, this match is breaking down very quickly, and I don't envy our officials tonight in this match.
Lung blower just takes out Sueño, but now here's Devin Diaz. Could be thinking pump handle.
Could be looking for it here. Slammed it dirt.
Well delivered, but now the question is, who do you go after? Who's even legal at this point?
If my math is correct, I believe that it is the two men in the ring right now, as another slam to dirt could be coming here, but Baby Keith managed to get out of it.
Keith ducks. Catches the ace crusher. Diaz is in trouble here, but now the question is, what does Keith have left to follow up?
I gotta be honest with you, I feel he's made a mistake not attempting a pinning maneuver after that beautiful ace cutter.
That's a great point. This comes back to that point about experience. You got to think Soulman Alex G watching closely, checking out the Miami boys and saying, oh man, hope this connects. And it does. Beautiful swanton. Now the pin. Miami boys win.
Here are your winners, the Miami Boys.
No No need to talk about experience differentials because all it takes, ladies and gentlemen, is 3 seconds for a match like this to be over.
A great showing by all 6 athletes here, but to the point, yet again, unity, man. That was the difference maker here in this 6-man tag. And you know what I'm excited to say? We still got so much more to come, gentlemen.
Yes, we do indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. He hails from Blackpool, England, weighing in at 12 stone, Martin.
Blackpool, a tough place, and of course, international flair here in this contest with Martin Law making his way to the ring.
Martin Law, I spoke with this gentleman a little bit in the locker room, and one thing he had to tell me is that he is here to represent Blackpool. He is here to represent his home country, which he had to say a few choice words as well about the city of Port Richey, Florida, but I don't know if I can get into that on air.
In his opponent,
young man who recently returned to the ring after a short layoff, about a year and a half in the sport. The guy we've gotten to watch here in WWN Proving Ground, Tito Torres, obviously a crowd favorite at the WWN TC. Could be, though, a tall order for Tito Torres tonight, having to deal with an international competitor like Martin Law.
Eventually, you're going to have to get in the ring in there with anybody from all over the world. And Tito Torres made the trek down from New Jersey, and then he stayed here in Florida to continue training at the WWN Training Center. You've got to imagine that he feels like this is the biggest opportunity since his 8-month layoff.
Yeah, and only correction to you is Thunder Championship Wrestling is where Tito trains, albeit also does participate in WWN Proving Ground events here. But that's the thing, having a guy like Tokyo Monster Kahagas hands-on with you will toughen you up. But again, Martin Law, Blackpool, guys. Those words enough for anybody listening on the other side of the pond right now. Tells you, ooh, watch out for that guy.
Absolutely, and Martin Law is looking to showcase that, laying down the law tonight, so to speak, tonight in Port Richey.
We're seeing some catch-can action here. Tito.
That's the thing. Tito Torres really needs to try and test himself here tonight. Can he wrestle the Brit Rest style, if you will, which Martin Law has been trained in? He's very well versed in these technical stylings.
Yeah, you beat me to it, the proverbial world of sport. And you can't just stereotype that every wrestler from over in the UK are going to be well versed in catch-can wrestling, but I'd be kind of shocked if Martin Law wasn't one of them. However, the pin, 2 count only. You get tied up in those situations, gentlemen, and that's part of why catch-can can become so perilous, just like this. You can't escape if you're a human pretzel. What do you do?
Right, there's not much that you can do other than wait for whatever is to come next, truly, Trevin. Tito Torres believes he actually knows the answer to Martin Law's questions, and the question tonight is, can he outclass this international star?
Of course, WWN faithful well behind Tito Torres. And of course, you're seeing that mean streak that you expected to see from Martin Law based on the kind words you said he had for the WWN faithful in their abode here.
Now you talk about Blackpool, England being some of the dirtiest fighters here in the game. They still stay within the rules. Obviously, the biggest name I feel to come out of Blackpool, England is the one and only William Regal. So you've got to imagine that Martin Law feels like that's some kind of legacy that he has to live up to.
A beautiful drop kick by Tito into that pin. 2 count only. Official Jeff Flores keeping an eye on the action of that chin breaker right there. Rookie mistake, or not quite rookie anymore, but you get the point by Tito, opening himself up.
Well, if Martin Law didn't believe he could out-wrestle Tito Torres, he surely knows he can outsmart Tito Torres now.
And sometimes when things are going your way, this is when you find out, gentlemen, the playbook of an athlete. And as that neckbreaker is well delivered by Martin Law, young Tito could be in trouble. Now the pin.
Now, I've got to say here, after that neckbreaker, Martin Law did take some time to gloat to the crowd. You saw him smile there. It could have been completely different if he had gone immediately for the pinfall there. So that, in hindsight, could be a costly mistake.
That's a great point, Kirby, and that's the WWN Do or Die showcase. You want to show out. You want the eyes that are watching right now to say, oh man, that Martin Law guy, and he was in control of his component. He made it look easy. Well, Tito's not making it look easy for Martin right now.
The speed and agility of the answer is on display here tonight.
And a beautiful fisherman suplex. Now the pin. But not enough. However, now we get to find out what shape is Tito Torres in.
I truly estimate that this entire matchup has been 50-50 throughout the entire going. This might be the turning point for 51-49.
As Tito swings wildly, caught by Martin. And oh man! Reverse Russian leg sweep into the pin. And Tito's still in this thing, guys. I'm surprised.
He's definitely got resiliency. I will give him that. And after being 8 months off of this business, you've got to imagine that he's probably got to start running on empty. This ring rust is going to be a problem as this match gets into deeper waters.
And you can see the body of Tito tells the story of physical conditioning, but there's nothing like being in the ring as Martin Law trying to stop Tito Torres. And Torres rolling through with the bridge. That's it.
Here is your winner, Tito Torres.
Gentlemen, very impressive from young Tito Torres having the bridge at just that pivotal moment. And you can see Tito wasted no time getting away from our friend, Martin Law.
Tito Torres knew the answer tonight, and it got him the victory over international star Martin Law.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following 10-man tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
If you didn't hear Michael James, 10-man tag, and wait till you see these guys.
They are here at a total combined weight of 1,179 pounds. The team of Barley, Lil Jay, the Fatty Daddy, Two James, Big Brother, and Brother Ruiz.
Well, Trevin, one thing that I have to say about this matchup tonight, there are going to be 10 combustible elements tonight at the WWN TC.
This may be the most eclectic mass of humanity I've ever seen in a professional wrestling ring. And did somebody forget to feed Mervig?
This is 5 of the biggest men I have ever seen. This amalgamation of competitors is truly a sight to behold.
Lil Jay, he might be the odd one out within this formation, but one thing is for certain, he is vicious and deadly in that ring.
Rip Ruiz, the fighter, Nikki, and
I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I expect madness. Look at Michael James. Yes, get the hell out of there, Michael. I expect madness here in this 10-man tag. And I almost wonder, we have a term here in professional wrestling called a rib, a.k.a. pulling a prank on our official, Jordan Pavello. Our junior official is the official we put in this 10-man tag. How in the heck is Jordan Pavillo going to be able to control 10 men when the guy's barely been officiating?
Here's the thing, Trevin, this is the do or die showcase. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. And so one thing is for certain, Jordan Pavillo is going to have his hands full here tonight. Especially, do you see the massive bear wig in the corner over there?
There's a bit of a debate here about who's going to start things, and is it going to be Lil Jay?
Was Walker, as you mentioned, the odd man out of the group. I feel like that's what makes him stand out even more as this match is now underway, as Rip Ruiz is the other man that's going to be beginning this matchup.
A lot of people get into the ring with a competitor like Lil Jay, and truly they don't know how to manipulate the body parts. It doesn't exactly work the same as it would with a larger competitor. Rip Ruiz is going to have that challenge ahead of him here tonight, Lil Jay.
You may not believe it, but Lil Jay, I've watched Lil Jay bleed buckets all throughout the United States of America. I think Rip is going to have a very, very interesting time dealing with Lil Jay. Is Jay going after that arm? However, Ruiz, not like he's a spring chicken guy, is accomplished. And you're seeing the counter right there. Oh, what a kick to the gut of Lil Jay.
Now he's just piling it on here in the corner. And you've got to imagine that everybody on the Rip Ruiz team has got to be celebrating that they're getting ahead in this matchup to get started.
But it's only a matter of time, Kirby. Look at who is standing across the ring. The cover now. Only a 1 count.
Yeah, Barvik. I think no one fed this man. The guy looks hungry as he watches on. Lil Jay's getting choked out by Rip Ruiz.
Well, someone should have had enough preparation to feed Barvik or whatever his name is, because truly, he's looking a little too hungry, and I think his opponent should be very worried.
And Jay trying to fight off Rip. And manages to toss Rip into the wrong side of town, guys.
This is exactly what this team wants, as we are now seeing here
Brother
Raven
Raven
being the legal man in this matchup. A very eccentric individual. I tried to speak with him earlier today, and let's just say that that did not go well.
Kirby, you're a better man than I got to see Brother Moon Revan at our last WWN Do or Die showcase. And other than what sounded like a guy that was a tortured soul, I had about no chance to understand what was happening. And honestly, I wish I had YouTube, because I shouldn't have had to go anywhere near him.
Truly, I still start to wonder what is happening, what goes through the mind of Brother Moon Revan as he looks into the eyes of his opponents.
Rip still holding on to the arm, this time of Brother Moon Revan. And in control, and you notice the closer you get to the other side of the ring, the more things now are going to go the way here of Rip Ruiz. Or is it? Oh yeah, here, oh, big man. Here's the Prophet.
Prophet, Brother Ariel against Brother Moon Revan. You've got to imagine that this is a clash of ideologies in the ring right now.
It's definitely a brother-brother situation going here. However, we got to tag in Kahuna. Kahuna's another guy that's been a very interesting individual to try to communicate with and understand.
Oh, this is an individual who I've been waiting to see all night, ladies and gentlemen. The big brother is in the house.
I think we're seeing a chop contest here, and gonna go with the brother versus the brother so far.
There's a lot of meat being exchanged between these two, but look at this for Brother Ariel.
You notice with so many men here, there's hardly any space where there isn't a man. And now you're seeing what we expected to see from Kahuna, using his rear end as a weapon. And he knows how to do it.
He's looking to bring the stank here tonight to the Prophet.
And our junior official, Jordan's doing his best, man. I think what Kahuna just found out right there is you can't drag a man that's probably half of the 1,000 pounds for the other team. Ooh, what a slam.
You're right about that one, Trevin. A combined 2,000 plus pounds taking up the ring right now.
The pin. 2 count only. Hopefully we remember to reinforce the ring.
Most definitely. We're having a ton of action tonight, that's for certain.
Look at this, Brother Ariel now tagging in Champ Matthews.
Yeah, Champ. one of the more accomplished men on his team. Matthews always impresses when we've had the opportunity to see him here in the World Wrestling Network. Another guy, though, that's pretty much wrestled all throughout the United States of America. Brian noticed him from national television before as well. However, Champ might be on the wrong side of town. Oh, and now here comes Juice James.
He's just here to have fun, but Champ Matthews is about to try and kill that fun before it even gets started.
Because it's not about Juice James' fun, it's about Champ Matthews' story, and that story's looking pretty damn good right now, Kirby.
Hell of a surfboard there. Juice, unfortunately, was the victim, so to speak. Of course, we've seen a bit of a change in attitude to Juice James in recent history here at WWN Proving Ground. And I get the feeling that's kind of translated based on which team Juice James came out here with from a kindred spirit perspective. As King Atlas lock, Brooklyn man tagged in.
You know, we look at King Atlas.
Oh, the pin.
We look at King Atlas and you see him. He is a man of size, but he is also a very sophisticated man. Did you know that this man only speaks in rhymes and he's known as the Poetry Man?
I mean, I was at the Brooklyn Bell House about a week ago, and I'm pretty sure he's headlining next week. Oh, what a drop kick! Right to the exposed arm of Juice James. Of course, that's Blair Dior. Dior now has an opportunity here to show out against a pro Juice James, but clearly guessed that wrong, guys.
It's hard to match power with the Juicy One himself. Seems like Dior is just figuring that out here tonight.
Lil Jay's been tagged back in.
Don't turn around, Dior.
Lil Jay is a weapon right now, gentlemen.
If he's a weapon, would that be considered a disqualification?
He's one of the few legal weapons I've ever seen in pro wrestling.
Now the pin. Oh, 2 count only. I think the fact that Jay was a domestic object instead of a foreign object helped the situation. But smart Jay dragging Dior into the corner. Now Juice James back into the match.
And this, the repeat, and it pays benefits here.
The finest Blair Dior has got to do something to get out of this, but is Juice James tickling him?
Juice James is really enjoying himself here tonight. 2 count on that.
Oh! Yeah, beautiful Pele, but you can only enjoy yourself so much when you nearly get pinned and nearly knocked out. And what does Dior have? Uh-oh, pop-up. Counter, perhaps.
Your strength here.
And the buckle bomb, devastating.
That could tear both shoulders completely out of the socket.
I don't think Juice James is focused on being the guy having fun right now. I think he's the guy that's fortunately dissecting Blair Dior.
Well, this is fun for Juice James. This is exactly what Juice James is about, Trevin.
Dior trying to get up on those ropes. Does manage to connect, but you can see what's left in Dior, what's left in Juice.
Well, both men are down. The juice is running out of oranges here tonight.
We have seen every single competitor be tagged in once, except for Bearwig. Is that maybe the strategy that this team is looking for?
One team needs to get the tag here if they're gonna win, and we got Brother Moon revving in, as well as King Atlas Lock.
King Atlas Lock. I love to see an educated man in professional wrestling, gentlemen, and this is one of the most educated of them all. The poetry is in motion tonight for King Atlas.
And Brother Moon in some trouble, getting crushed in the corner. And if this momentum continues, could be the end of this 10-man tag. Hook in the leg. No. Can you imagine what goes through the head of Brother Moon revving?
I don't think anything does go through that after he made that deal to become a tortured soul, to get the power that he wanted to be in competition, to be honest.
Bruna. Good God, man. I'm gonna call it a famous, I don't have a better name for what was truly. Wait. Of course, Juice James also known for the famous, or I think that's the discussion point going on here. However, I would dare say Clay Huna had a lot more rear end to go along with it, but now into the pin. gentlemen.
Well, I think we're seeing some dissension in the ranks here tonight. Juice James seems to believe that he's the real big brother after all.
I think that becomes the situation when you're going to say, I can do whatever you do better, but you're supposed to be on the same team, and the big man flies the Prophet, crushing two men, but here's Perfect to break it up.
I think Barrick may have had enough as he gets Juice James over to that rope.
Beerbig is looking for the
And there
tag.
it is.
He got it.
The one man that has not been in this matchup yet. We're finally about to see what he's all about.
And two of the largest competitors in this matchup stand toe-to-toe. I'm on the edge of my seat.
We're waiting for this all night. The initial collision, no one budges. Maybe the ring budged a little bit. Oh, wow, what a chop. Oh, but the forearm as well. Azriel's holding his ground. Ow! Could the monstrous Perfect be stopped?
I'm not too certain. It's gonna take a Prophet to take down Beervig.
Hey, ref, he's biting him. That's called breaking the rules.
It's meal time. What are you talking about, Trevin?
And the big splash does not connect, but here comes Klehuna.
Beervig is hungry, and now all of a sudden this match is really breaking down.
Yeah, the troops are out here. And Dior,
He's got the bear claw in.
indeed caught.
Well, could he be looking for it here?
Oh!
That, my friends, into the pin is the end.
The bear claw slam.
Winners, the team of Byron, Lil Jay, Juice James, Klehuna, and brother,
The bear claw slam at the end of the day saves the victory for this team of true monsters in WWN, gentlemen.
10 absolutely eclectic athletes brought together here at WWN Do or Die Showcase. Honestly, an impressive showing by all, but there can only be one team that wins. Not sure, though, that those 5 men are going to be hanging out for the rest of the night. Look, Beervig might eat Michael James.
Well, Michael James might need to walk away.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following women's contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. She hails from Los Angeles, California. She is the Serpent of Sin, Vibress.
Viper's no stranger to anybody who's watched WWN events before, especially Shine Wrestling. But you're about to see what is Viper's like in singles action here at the WWN Do or Die Showcase.
And her opponent, she is from St. Petersburg, Florida. She is the luxury JC Love.
Of course, JC Love going to have a bit of a home field advantage, so to speak. Oh, Viper's right with the attack. Official Nikki Emery just calling right for the bell. Are you surprised that Viper's would take a shortcut, guys?
Oh, not whatsoever. It's in this woman's blood. She is the serpent of sin, as she proclaims. And Viper's, however, as well as she started off this contest, not looking too great at the moment.
And of course, JC Love, second generation athlete, trying to cut her teeth here. Seen her before at WWN Proving Ground. Definitely never seen her versus Viper's, though. And I think Viper's, with the experience advantage, 6 years. I think Viper's looking to make a statement here tonight.
Yeah, just as you mentioned, you might have seen her on Shine, you might have seen her in Evolve Wrestling. Viper's now going to the cover.
Now, JC Love, she is a second-generation star, but she also has a cheerleading background, and cheerleaders have incredible body control, which is the one thing that Vipers is trying to maintain right now. She's trying to keep her grounded, because if JC Love starts to get going, if she starts going to the top rope, you've got to imagine that that's when she's going to have the advantage.
Body control can do great things for you if you are on the offensive, but JC Love has to find a way to get back to a vertical base.
When it comes to Vipers, though, gentlemen, she's maniacal. And if you give Vipers any opportunity, any opening, she will end you. And I think JC Love's going to have to be very, very cautious. And right now, it's all Vipers in this moment. But Vipers charges in, does not quite make it. JC with the counter, hits the elbow.
Starting to see a little bit of fire here out of JC Love. And I spoke on earlier, you spoke about that body control, Kirby. That body control really coming into play right now.
And as well as you add the experience boxing, gymnastics, a lot of those sports can give you fundamentals. That doesn't always translate to the squared circle. And unfortunately, what an answer there, Michinoku, but not enough. However, how impressive is Vipers just pulling that counter out of thin air. It's the experience from the young lady. She spent time at the Inoki Dojo, has been worldwide.
She knows exactly what she's doing in this ring. You can see the confidence oozing off of Vipers. The charisma now rolling to the cover. One count there, though, Trevin.
Well, in that small package is exactly the kind of things you're going to need. Now the roll-up again. I think if JC Love's going to be able to beat the experienced Vipers, it's got to be some shock and awe.
Well, she's known as the luxury for a reason here, Trevin.
Almost was luxuriously into a 3 count there, but Vipers just barely got that shoulder up. I think one of the things with Vipers, and you saw it to begin this matchup, the attack, the sneak attack. Vipers is definitely one of those athletes will hit you with the shock and awe when you least expect it.
Well, you saw how she slithered there, possibly into the cover. Did Vipers?
Yeah, but you notice Vipers instead said, you know what? I'm going to choose a limb. I'm going to force a submission, and it just happened. Submission.
Here is your winner, Vipers.
She's won many matches with that move right there, and that was the restrictor from Vipers to be able to put away JC Love here tonight.
Yeah, for JC Love, I had to feel like you were in the grasp of a boa constrictor. And that's the situation. Again, the submissions in the sport of professional wrestling can catch you when you least expect it. But tonight, Vipers standing tall here. WWN Do or Die Showcase.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
You know, Trevin, better together. Adar Horvitz and, of course, Ori Gold, 2 individuals who we've seen countless times here in WWN. But I'm starting to wonder, are these 2 ever going to get on the same page?
That's the thing. When they are on the same page, these men stand atop the mountain when it comes to the tag team division across all the World Wrestling Network. However, when they're not, unfortunately, I think you're about to see a little bit of an indication as Adar are going to come along for the pants rip.
Now, I would be upset if I was Adar too, having my pants ripped off me like that.
What is happening in the ring right now?
It's next level stretching.
Walker, since I accused you earlier, no relation between Chico Adams and I. However, I have known Chico Adams here in the sport of professional wrestling nearly a decade. And this is a young man who I have seen grow from I come out to corny rap music and I pretend I'm something I'm not, to a guy that pretty much you have seen him all over the sport of professional wrestling. You name the role. This is a man who will not only show up, he'll show out. And I think tonight, between Chico Adams, Luka Daniels, we could see winners.
Most definitely. Chico Adams and Luka Daniels actually referring to themselves by the name of Extra Raw. These two men, it's their first time teaming together in professional competition. However, I have a lot of faith in Chico Adams and Luka Daniels.
Of course, the play there is hint, hint. Check out Monday nights on USA. You may see these gentlemen apparently appear occasionally, but right now it has nothing to do with where you may be getting slight looks, as Hadar Harvitz here is getting a full look at Chico Adams and likes what he sees because he just really showed out at Hadar's move. 1 point to Hadar. We doing points tonight?
Hey, most definitely tonight.
And of course, Chico Adams, a guy. You tick off Chico, things won't go your way. And to that point about Chico and Luka become running buddies, I think we're gonna see two units working together tonight, and I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
I feel like they think they've got something to prove here, and something that I love about showcases like this is that you never know when you're gonna find that somebody that just clicks with you.
Pin. The backsliding, now again into a pin. The official doing his best to keep an eye in.
It's hard. So it's hard to keep up with action like this, Trevin. I gotta admit with you.
We gotta make sure both shoulders are down. That's one of the big things here, guys. A lot of folks will sometimes look and say, and of course the tag now to Luka, they'll say, wait, where's the count? Why isn't it happening? The official has the best view. None of us can see what Jeff Flores, the official, sees right now.
You're right about that one. But Luka Daniels sees something right now. They very well might be a victory in his future.
Now it's going to surely be Ori Gold. Ori is a very talkative athlete. And here's the thing when it comes to Better Together. These guys have known each other well over a decade. Keep throwing that term around a lot, but the reality is if you add Ori Gold, Hadar Horvitz, the time in the squared circle, guys, you're heading into like combined 28 years of professional wrestling because they both began wrestling at like 13, 14 years old in Israel.
Yeah, that's a lot of experience. The Israeli natives here and Better Together. I mean, these are two men that you cannot overlook, especially, I understand they have a little bit of a dysfunctional relationship in the ring.
Well, Luka maybe taking things a little lightly right now. Hadar's been tagged in, but Chico Adams coming in. And are we about to see some tandem atomic drops? It does. I guess it was a situation where they were making things a little more tender on the rump, if you will, Better Together before those atomic drops.
Well, sometimes you have to weaken a body part to utilize it to its fullest effect here, Trevin. We're seeing that right now in ring competition.
Of course, we have a 10 count here in the World Wrestling Network.
Extra Raw looks fantastic right now as Better Together is on the outside. The more experienced team could be getting basically outdone by beginner's luck, gentlemen.
Chico catching, Hadar Horvitz coming. The kick to the breadbasket from himself, and Chico make it look easy, gentlemen.
The strength here of Chico Adams cannot be understated.
Yeah, but the mistake was able to let Ori Gold pull Hadar back over, but Ori paid the price for saving his partner.
Well, someone needs to go check on the Golden Boy on the outside of the ring. Nevertheless, inside right now, Hadar has a fantastic opportunity.
And I think for Chico, now on the other end of the beating, Chico is about as far as he could possibly be away from Luka Daniels.
This is the last place you would want to be if you are Chico Adams. But think about Luka Daniels right now. He's watching his tag team partner for the evening being tortured and tenderized in the corner.
Beautiful tandem action here by Better Together. Now the pin. Not enough to keep down Chico. And I said it earlier tonight, guys, units. Tag team professional wrestling is about the units, not the individuals. And to the point you guys brought up, it's Better Together. Stay getting along. It's going to be Better Together's night. They splintered all, man. you got to watch out for Chico and Luca.
Well, you talk about singularity, and I want to talk about Luca Daniels and Chico Adams. While they are singles competitors, they have a great relationship inside and outside of the ring. I really think we're going to see that come into fruition here tonight.
And think about it this way. Chico, Luca, it doesn't matter where in the United States of America, they will show up. They will come out, they will wrestle, travel together. There's a unity, but story might be over. Into the pin. There's a unity, there's a bond that you build together when you're in the car with someone else for hours and hours and hours. And I think that's the part of the sport a lot of people don't understand. What it takes to get into the ring, into the situation you are right now, and finally get to perform here at the WWN Do or Die Showcase.
But Trevin, I've got to ask, Chico Adams and Luca Daniels travel over the United States. Better Together travel here from Israel. So who really has the advantage there?
That's a fantastic question there, Kirby.
One let alone the hands that have been on Better Together, getting to train with guys like Walter, aka Gunther right now, Tyler Breeze, Sean Spears. We talked about flatbacks, but hey, Daniels tagged in.
We're seeing a lot of fire right now out of Luca Daniels.
The step up in Zaguri, and there's a reason that guys like Luca and Chico get the opportunities, get the looks that they get. Delta World dumping down Ori, bridging out. Could it be no?
Fedor was there to save that one just in the nick of time. You'd have to think if Fedor was out of position or if they were a little further away from his tag team competitor, that might have been it.
Beautiful back body drop. Luca Daniels just a hair away from that breakout performance. Chico in the same position. These are guys, they know what tonight can mean. And I think in a moment, this is the beginning, if not the end. Oh wait, Ori! And you see Chico left high and dry as Luca just dumped into the wall.
And this has really led to Better Together earning a golden opportunity here tonight at a victory.
Now Ori Gold tagged in, Chico Adams left alone.
Here we go, we're about to see it. Together forever!
I think, gentlemen, this is the end.
Here are your winners, Better Together.
You want to talk about two tag teams, 4 men who left it in the ring here at the WWN Do or Die Showcase. And was that CPR happening, gentlemen? I don't even know. A defibrillator?
I'm not licensed, so I'm not entirely sure.
Chico Adams, let's get him in there. Oh wait, he's out. Nevertheless, impressive. Better Together. Victorious here. But still, man, Chico Adams, Luca Daniels, awesome showing. Jeff Flores probably didn't want that kiss. Better Together reigning supreme here. WWN Do or Die Showcase. And gentlemen, it is almost time for our main event. Things are about to get electric here at the WWN TC.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your along with Francisco Chiazzo, members of the Set Inc. No surprise we're getting this reaction here, gentlemen, from the WWN faithful.
Most definitely not. One half of the ACW Tag Team Champions in Francisco Chiazzo, and of course, the #1 contender for the WWN Proving Grounds Heavyweight Championship in Rich Port Ayala.
And he did so by winning a Rumble last week here in the WWN Training Center. And this is the match that he earned. I can't wait for this.
Definitely the big fight feel here to cap off the WWN Do or Die showcase. Like you brought up, Kirby was at WWN Proving Ground recently. You can check that out on club.wwnlive.com. Every week you can check out what happens at WWN Proving Ground or join us here in Port Richey, Florida on Friday nights. But the fan favorite and the incredibly experienced Jonathan Hudson, broadcast colleague of mine, the hardcore giant Ron Ninian, once called him the undiscovered 16-year-old veteran, should I say 16-year pro veteran. Guy that toured up all over the Midwest and has now brought it here to the World Wrestling Network.
And one thing about Hudson, he brings a lot of experience to the table, especially here at the WWN Proving Ground, where people really want to put on this showcase.
Introducing first the challenger, sitting to my right, from Bronx, New York, weighing in at 240 pounds, representing the Set Incorporated, he is Mr. RPA, that freaking Rich WWN Proving Ground Heavyweight Champion, the Alpha Daddy of professional wrestling, Jonathan Hudson.
Michael James with the main event introduction. Senior official Jeff Bundy there in between these athletes. And in mere moments, the WWN Proving Ground Heavyweight Championship will be on the line here. This is what it's all about.
I got to tell you right now, Trevin, I am on the absolute edge of my seat. I came all the way down from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma for this moment right here. It's all on the line, the WWN Proving Ground Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, when you look at the credentials, I already talked about Jonathan Hudson and the years of experience and, of course, being the reigning and defending champion. But how about Rich Ayala, a guy about 7 years ago, his first professional wrestling match was at Wrestle 1 in Japan. How many people can say they debuted in the sport in Japan and happened to be Gai Jing and just recently coming back from a tour at Pro Wrestling Noah? Rich Ayala is turning heads all over the country and tonight could become a Proving Ground champion.
Absolutely. Not many people can say that they made their debuts in Japan. Not many people can say they made their debuts in Korakuen Hall in Japan, of all places, Trevin.
But there's a good ramen place next door. And jokes aside, keep an eye out for Francisco Chiazzo here, guys. We've seen Chiazzo get involved so many times in the business of the Set Inc.
Now, I've got to keep in mind here for everybody here watching at home, the Set Inc. consists of Chiazzo and De La Vega. I actually saw De La Vega watching the door to make sure Scyther doesn't get involved in this because they've already taken out Chungus. This will be all for the Set Inc. if they can capture the championship.
Yeah, to dissect what Kirby just said right there, if you're not a regular viewer of WWN Proving Ground, the situation between the ACW Tag Team Champions, the Set Incorporated, really the tapestry that's been weaved heading into our main event tonight. All the stars have aligned for the Set Inc., and this could be the night that Rich Ayala gets that win. And are we going to see a clean break? Of course not. But Jonathan Hudson saw it coming. Not surprising. WWN Proving Ground are definitely not going to be behind Richport Ayala, but Jonathan Hudson, man, once upon a time, Hollywood, California, literally personal trainer for some of the biggest stars, including Matthew McConaughey.
It's an incredible resume to be talking about here, Trevin. But none of that equates to being WWN Proving Ground Heavyweight Champion. And that is exactly why he is walking into this matchup to give it his 150%.
Yeah, and Ayala right now with the focus, the attack on Jonathan Hudson. And these two definitely been in the ring together in a lot of different situations. Beautiful back body drop. In turn, going to be no strangers to one another. And I think from a playbook perspective, what do you do coming in here when you both know each other so well? Do you overthink it?
You always have to stay one step ahead, and as a matter of fact, it becomes a chess game. Not just one step, maybe 3 steps ahead.
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, the lights looked off for Richport Ayala. I can't believe Ayala managed to kick out there.
It's shocking in nature, Trevin. You know, I was speaking to Jonathan Hudson briefly in the locker room, and I asked him, are you fearful of stepping into the ring with a competitor like that freaking Rican Port Rich Ayala? And one thing is for certain, Jonathan Hudson does not have fear in his dictionary. It's not in his lexicon. He has no fear in this match tonight.
Yeah, charging it twice, but unfortunately for Hudson, counters twice by Richport Ayala. And you notice the way Hudson holding that head, what damage could have been done to the neck, and again, Chiazzo's right there.
A lot of central nerve endings that are on that part of the body, and it's got to be a place that Richport Ayala is going to want to target if he wants to walk away tonight, the Proving Ground Heavyweight Champion.
And thankfully, we have one of the best officials in the sport here to control things. You notice Port Ayala, of course, choking the life out of Jonathan Hudson and being forced to break that hold, but the damage has been done.
You heard him there. The freaking Regan said he's going to be the next champion, and so far it looks like it may be headed that way.
Every time the head of Jonathan Hudson just gets dumped into that turnbuckle, the damage continues. Now the stomps in the corner. Ayala's got to be feeling good.
But I think this goes to your point exactly, Trevin Adams. Richport Ayala feels very good.
Of course, the time for posing is if and when you win the match, my friend. And you can't help but notice the champion slowly but surely starting to recover in the center of the ring as we see signs of life from Hudson.
See, look at this. Richport Ayala is a different type of individual. He's allowed to have the time for posing and still come back to the center of the ring to put the hurt in on Jonathan Hudson.
Absolute strength there from Ayala.
And the side slam. Champion's in trouble. Not quite. Can't disagree. Ayala back in control in this matchup. Main event here, WWN Do or Die Showcase. And even with the entire WWN faithful cheering on the champion, you can see Richport Ayala. If anything, he thrives in the disdain from the fans that are here.
Well, you're correct about that one, but one thing that is getting in the back of the head of Richport Ayala is the length of this matchup. The longer that this matchup continues, the more inside his head this young competitor becomes in relation to that of Jonathan Hudson. Jonathan Hudson, easily the veteran competitor in this match, exactly why he is the Proving Grounds champion.
And what makes this even more exciting is the fact that both athletes in phenomenal condition. This match might end up going all night.
Now to counter your point there, Walker, Jonathan Hudson is the bulkier of the 2 men, so the oxygen those muscles are needed for cardio could be going elsewhere. I think Ayala has got the cardio advantage here.
And a great counter by the champion. Port Authority was almost hit, and instead the DDT, and at least for now, creating that separation. But you notice, there's a 10 count to answer here, guys. Someone needs to get up, or this could be the end of things.
And if that is unfortunate the way that it goes, Jonathan Hudson would retain his championship by double countout.
Well, no one will want to see that happen, but at the end of the night, it would only make sense with the way that these competitors have been laying it in all night, but both men back to a vertical base.
I'm at all the fact that both men not only up, and you see Hudson in control, throwing those bombs, and Ayala charge it in. And you notice though, Ayala sitting out into the pin. Not quite.
We almost had a new champion here in Port Richey, Florida.
And once again, look into the eyes of Richport Ayala. This man is questioning himself right now, and I think we're starting to see it for the very first time in this matchup. A slight break in the Set Inc.'s plan.
This becomes that pivot point. What do? I've talked tonight multiple times about the playbook. How deep is the playbook? And if the plan doesn't go as planned, oof, and most don't, how do you handle things?
You've got to deviate from the plan, but that's what separates people, regular people, I should say, from champions. And that is the question that Rich Portigal is going to have to answer as Port Authority. Could be it.
Almost a new champion, but not quite. Jonathan Hudson somehow kicks out. Could you imagine the history that was almost made, guys?
Absolutely. Rich Portigal has given it everything that he's got, and it still hasn't been enough. It still hasn't gotten the job done. What more does Portigal have in the playbook?
Of course, frustration can have two side effects. One, perhaps it'll have you hit a little harder. The other is you start to make mistakes. And I keep an eye out here as that attempt by Ayala instead countered by Hudson. But look at the shape of the champion.
Getting into deep waters here as Hudson with the Blue Thunder bomb.
Yeah, in the pin, and no! How did Rich Portigal manage to get the shoulder up?
It's a surreal feeling in the building tonight. The WWN TC is in fuego during this main event matchup.
Here, Chiazzo. Distracting, I was going to say. First, verbally, not trying to get physically involved, but Hudson taking down Francisco. Oh! And so does Ayala charge it in. Taking out his set ink running buddy.
Well, someone needs to go check on Chiazzo on the outside.
Ayala can't believe what he's just done, but he needs to turn around into the forearm.
Yeah, that discus. Pinfall. Hudson retains.
Here is your winner, and still your WWN Proving Ground Heavyweight Champion, Jonathan Hudson.
What a way to culminate things here. WWN Do or Die Showcase. It's been a hell of a night. That was a hell of a championship defense. Parting thoughts, guys.
Well, here's the thing here, Trevin. In Do or Die, you either get the job done or you die trying. We have two men on two different sides of that equation. Jonathan Hudson walks out still WWN Proving Grounds Heavyweight Champion, and I cannot be happier. What a night of action.
We said that this was going to be a showcase of the future, and let me tell you, the future sure is bright, not just here in Florida, but all over the United States and maybe even all over the world.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. For Michael James, for Walker Stewart, for Kirby Carry-On, I'm Trevin Adams. Thanks for joining us. WWNLive.com for all things World Wrestling Network.